welcome back to Books with Brandywine. Today I'm doing my TBR for the Bibliogames that are going on this month. They are going to be Sky High themed, and so we were all put into teams based on Sky High. So there's heroes, there's villains, there's, what are they called? The people that are like, anti-heroes. I was going to say the people that are like anti-heroes. They are anti-heroes. And then the last group is Sidekick, which is the group that I am on. And I am so excited because I really, really wanted to read the group book for Sidekick. And I kind of feel like I would be a sidekick. Like, I don't feel like I'd be the hero of the story, which is totally fine by me because nothing ever goes well for the hero of the story. And so, once we were put into our teams, there are 6 classes, it's Sky High, and each of the classes have a prompt. There are 3 main classes that everybody is taking, and then there are 3 classes that are based on which team you're in. So the classes are different if you're in hero, they're different if you're villain, different if you're anti-hero, different if you're sidekick. And so that ends up being 6 classes for each person, so 6 prompts. You don't have to do every single prompt. You can mix it up. You can read books that aren't part of the readathon, which I am doing that too. But I wanted to talk about the 6 books that I'm going to be doing for the 6 classes. So for the first 3 classes that are the main classes, there is Homeroom, which is to read the group book that is for your team. There is Lunch, which is to read a satisfying book for I was going to say for your team, but it's just like a satisfying book, or a book that has a satisfying ending, which, you know, hopefully lunches would be. Usually cafeteria lunches aren't very satisfying, just saying, but, and then the 3rd class was Gym, and that was to read a book that was in a format that you don't normally read. And then for the 3 classes for Sidekick, there was to take a class for Comedic Relief, which was to read a book that had a funny side character. And there was Hero Support, which is to read a graphic novel. And Mission Strategy, which was to read a nonfiction book. So for the group book, it was to read one of the books in the Not Your Sidekick series. Since I haven't read even the first book, Not Your Sidekick, that's the book that I'm going to be reading. I don't have that yet, so it will appear next to me. And I don't know anything about that book besides the fact that the main character is not your normal sidekick. And that's pretty much all I know about it. Like, I found out about it back in December, and I read the synopsis of it back then, and it sounded really, really good. I put it on my Amazon wish list because I totally want to read it, but they don't have it at any of the bookstores here in Albuquerque, so I have to order that one. And I'm really, really looking forward to reading it. I think the second book is called Not Your Villain or something, and so, of course, I'm going to read that one afterwards, but I'm really, really looking forward to this one. I've been really into, like, superhero books. I haven't really read very many of them. I mean, I've read Renegades, and I need to read the rest of the series, but I'm really looking forward to Not Your Sidekick. And then for Gym, a book that is in a format that I am not used to reading, I'm going to be reading To All the Boys I've Loved Before. This is a YA contemporary romance, and I don't usually read those. I don't usually read romances really all that often, and I definitely don't usually read YA contemporary romances, but I've been wanting to read this. The movie is on Netflix, and it sounds like light and fun, and I've been really curious to read it. And then for Lunch, to read a satisfying ending, I am going to be reading Always and Forever Laura Jean, which is the 3rd book in the trilogy for To All the Boys I've Loved Before. Since it's the 3rd book in the trilogy, I'm really, really hoping that it has a satisfying ending, because if it doesn't, that would just be really annoying, like reading a whole trilogy and then not having a satisfying ending for a romance. I don't think, it's not a comedy, what do they call it? Chick flicks? I guess it's like a chick flick. So I'm really, really looking forward to this. I don't really know much about the series besides the fact that she wrote letters, like love letters, while she was growing up to boys that she was in love with. And somehow all of the letters got mailed out, and now she's dealing with the aftermath. And so that's what the trilogy is about. So those are the books that I'm reading for the main classes. And then for my Sidekick classes, for the comedic relief, I'm going to be reading Magic Misfits. This doesn't really have a funny side character, but it has a hilarious narrator, which I am totally going to count as a side character because he's throughout this book. And, I mean, just to, like, show you some of, like, how hilarious it is. This is the table of contents. Can you see those? So, yeah. So, Chapter 1 is the first, Chapter 2 is the second one, Chapter 3 is the third of these, and it, like, the whole thing just kind of goes like that. And, like, way down at 11, are these backwards for you? These might be backwards for you. Way down on 11, it says, looks like 2 lines, or 2 lowercase l's, which could be confusing. For example, is this 2 lowercase l's? Looks like this, 11, right? Confusing. 12, also known as a dozen. 13, oddly called a baker's dozen. Always wondered why bakers get one more. And like when it goes down to 19, it's like the number missing from this representation of pi. And it like gives us really long number of pi. Oh, and after 16, it goes to 16 billion. It's like, gotcha, I wanted to make sure that you're reading closely. And then it goes to 17, which is 6 more than 9 multiplied by 10 plus 3 then divided by 9. And like, when you get to chapter 13, where's 13? That's 9. 13. 13 is X'd out. And his reasoning is he says, you'll notice this book has no 13th chapter. You probably already know. 13 is a very unlucky number. And he like goes on. And then he was like, I'm choosing not to have a 13th chapter. Instead, I'm going to allow you to use this time to take a much needed bathroom break. Go on then. I'll wait. ... Done already? That was quick. I hope you washed your hands because you're about to use them to turn these pages faster than ever. And just like he talks like that through the whole thing. And it just cracks me up. So I'm really hoping that this book is really funny. And the narrator sounds pretty funny. So I'm using it for my comedic relief. For hero support for the graphic novel, I'm taking this opportunity to read the second omnibus for Kitchen Princess. I read the first omnibus for the 2 readathons that I did in May, and I really want to carry on the series. So I've got the second omnibus for this readathon, and that covers volumes 3 and 4, I believe, in the series. I am really looking forward to this one. There's going to be more awesome recipes, probably more high school drama. I think there's even like a ghost story in this one. But yeah, so I'm really looking forward to that one. It's going to be so much fun. And then for the last class, which is research, what is it? Oh, mission strategy. It's to read a nonfiction. And I'm going to be reading The Radium Girls, which I am like 99% sure is nonfiction. I couldn't find it anywhere on here where it would say nonfiction. Like, it says history on the ISBN, and I checked on, like, the page that has, like, all the info and everything, and it doesn't mention nonfiction, but it also doesn't mention fiction, and it's supposed to be, like, the way it's written, it kind of looks like almost journalistic? I don't know. But, like, I feel like if I'm pretty sure this is nonfiction. And I'm going to research it before I get too far into it because it's like a 400-page book. And I want to make sure, like, I'm actually reading nonfiction. But I mean, like, it's even got, like, references on the back. And it has, like, a select bibliography. I mean, that's got to be fiction, like, nonfiction, right? I mean, it's got a bibliography. But anyway, so I don't know. But I'll like continue to research it to make sure it actually is nonfiction. But I figured, like, how cool is it? We're having a readathon about superheroes, and one of the ways superheroes get their powers is by being exposed to excessive amounts of radioactive material, which is what these girls were exposed to, and they did not become superheroes. In fact, turns out radioactive stuff is really bad for your body. So I feel like this would be like the perfect nonfiction book for this readathon because it addresses that. So those are the 6 books that I am planning on reading for the BiblioGames for this readathon. I am like so excited about this theme. I first found out, I found out about the BiblioGames I think last time they did it, and they were doing I don't know like what the name of the theme was, but basically all the different teams were like different fandoms. Like there was Half-Blood Camp and like just all these different fandoms, and it looked so much fun, but I found out about it too late, and this year I am in it and I'm excited and I'm loving these books. So I will let you guys know how all of these books turn out. For the To All the Boys I've Loved Before trilogy, I will probably talk about them a little bit in the video, but since there is another book in between that isn't actually going to be read for this readathon, I kind of want to do a separate video just for that trilogy. So we will see how that goes. But anyway, I hope to see you guys next time. Let me know in the comments below if you guys are going to be participating in the BiblioGames for June. It does take place all of June, so a lot of reading is going to get done. And what team would you guys be on if you're not getting to do it, but you still want to pick a team? Would you be the hero, the anti-hero, the villain, or the sidekick? I will see you guys later. Bye!